Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, we're going to go ahead and begin in a few minutes. All right, hello everybody who is watching. Sorry for the echo, there we go. Go ahead and say hello if you want. Ask any questions as we go through and unload the kiln, and we're gonna reload the kiln after. Hey, Asher. Do you have any questions, Asher, so far? I know I haven't really done much. All right, so we are going to be unloading this glaze kiln here. If you watched the last live, or if you want to see us load this, it's on the live page of the channel. And we loaded this up on Tuesday, fired it, finished firing in about 16, 17 hours, and it took another 24 to cool. So go ahead and start unloading this and see how the pieces turned out. All right, so the first one, really nice. We have a chip and dip bowl and a white glaze. Oh, that ring just sounds awesome. And tourmaline, amico glaze. This one's really popular. Those rings are just so awesome. Little clean cup, perfect size for 1 scoop of ice cream. Half bowl. Love how the texture is showing through from that red glaze. This one had some purple brush strokes, but kind of see it. Some haziness there. Love the shape on this. And one of my favorite glazes, it looks like a naked clay, but this is a matte white glaze. This is the clay body. One of my favorite colors. And then the same student made this one. We have an opihi shell filled with underglaze, and then dipped in transparent. All right, and then we fire things on cookies in here. So let's load those up and take off the first shelf. Thank you, Asher. All right, another really funky glaze. This one cracks naturally. When it gets thick, it turns yellow. So you can see that's where it was a little thicker. Almost has like brain texture. Very interesting. Another big tourmaline bowl. This is the set. We got nesting bowls going on. It's just missing one of them. This was one of my favorite tests from this firing. We have an opal blue with a light flux, almost like water. And the rim, that is just super cool. Nice little bubble vase, perfect for holding, or it could be a mug. And another cool combo. So another flux glaze with a purple semi-transparent. Where it pulls, it turns more purple. Inside, you can see inside. Kind of hard to see the inside. Thank you, Asher. So these are not my pieces. These are all student pieces. High school students, levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. The ones that you saw here were levels 2 and 3. All right, and then we have some wave bowls. Got to sneak some of my own pieces in this one because we got to fill it. Nice wavy texture. Hello, Edit God. Are you talking in the third person right now? Perfect rice bowls. Yeah, 2 more. You guys catch the drift. And then, if you're wondering what these thingies are called cones. And so we use it to test the firing to see how hot or cold it is. This is a temperature of it melting. So this is the melt one, and this is the one we want to aim for. So slightly under fired. Some say this is still cone 5. So still dialing in this cone because we replaced the thermocouple a little while ago. All right, plates have been very popular this year, and my actual next tutorial video that's going to release next week are how to make plates, beginner, intermediate, and advanced techniques, so advanced level. So if you want to see that and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, and it'll pop up on your feed when the video's out. Oops, sorry about the shake. Little Monstera plate. And then I really like this one. Super cute little duck pond with the glazes. It's finally looking so much better than when it looked like when it was loading. So yeah, the students have been making this Asher. So these are mostly student pieces. The only ones that were the ones that I made were those wavy bowls. Here's the lid to the container, a little strawberry. So go ahead and take this apart and to review the next level. So Asher, where are you from? And then we have little buttons and beads in here, fired in a makeshift holder. So, cool little stuff. And then we have a little pouring cup with some red glaze. You can see the fingerprint from the student. The US but born in Russia. Cool. Do you do any ceramics? No, never too late to try it out. All right, a little shell, perfect to put your little trinkets or soap. So going back to the other pieces you saw, this student made both, going for a sea theme. We have kind of like a flower floral feel. Very fine details. Some more plates, hand-built plate, something to store your things in. We have a fish plate for sushi. Put your shoyu here, soy sauce, sushi over here, and dip it. So these are all high school kids, and some of them, this is the first time they jumped on the wheel. Like this student, this is the first time this student jumped on the wheel. After about a month, they were able to make this. So never too late. Just finding a studio is the hard part. And that blue glaze just looks so clean. You have a bubble plate. Kind of looks like, I don't know how, like an eye. Love that waterfall drip there. Very cool. Thanks, Asher. All right, this is a slab vase made from two parts, left and right. Some more plates. This one almost has like a petri dish feel going on. Fox. Pretty cool. Container. Nice fluffy tail. Nice clean gorilla monkey. Alright, you guys recognize this character? Student worked so hard on this one. There was actually the cracks around the neck, and I'm glad the glaze hit it. And you can put little incense in there. So I'm sure the student's gonna love how this turned out. When I first started ceramics in high school, I was really bad. My teacher always yelled at me. Yeah, well, I didn't listen. My pieces turned out horribly, but just take some time, as long as you're willing to put that in. And cute little domos. I low-key want to say these broke so I can keep them. And they have a little keychain top on it. And it's so cool. Once they're fired and they hit against each other, it's like marbles. They're basically glass at this point. You think I'm your son? A very nice abstract vase. Hand painted, hand carved. Student put so much work into this, and I'm glad it turned out really nice. All right, anyone else in the chat want to say hello? Ask any questions. Don't be afraid. Okay, so pardon the clanking. I'm just stacking the cookies here on the side off camera. And we have, this was from a project called Eccentric or Let's Get Weird. And I really think the student captured the essence of the theme. We have a toilet that looks like it will eat you if you use it. All right. We got a big chip and dip bowl. Looks like the glaze ran a little bit. That's why we fire things on cookies or bisque pieces. But the glaze turned out amazing. The lighting in here is just too kind of poor. You can't really see it, but there's little black flakes and specks in it, like watery movement. Very, very nice. So one little spot we got to sand off. You can see how much we protected that area in case more of it came off. Hello, Fur. Where are you watching from? All right, this one's been catching my eye. Wow, that is beautiful. Look at those flowers. It's like glowing. That's so cool. And the inside, the way the glaze just ran and melted into this. That is beautiful. I gotta ask the student how they did this. Great variety. Afraid to put different glazes. Yeah, it does take a lot of time. These are all student pieces, high school students. So I kind of give them an overview of like what glazes work with one another, which ones don't, and then some of them experiment, and the ones that we do know that something may happen, we put cookies below it. And that's a really cool melt. So this is a flux glaze on top. You can kind of see it melting down. Almost looks like coffee poured in, or poured into coffee. This is a purple glaze. Looks beige, but it's purple. All right, another blue hand-built bowl with some flux glaze on the inside. Looks like melting water or icicles coming down. Hand-painted flowers. A lot of patience these kids have are just amazing. Oh, surprise flowers inside. This is one of my favorite pieces from loading. We have a little goose utensil holder. You put little spoons here, and then you can put sauces in there, honey, scoop. Turned out great. I'm so glad. All right, and this guy coming back for a second firing. The student wanted to add some eyes to the gecko, and I think it did a great job to making it look more fun. More hand-built glazes, or hand-built pieces. Hello, the Goods Pottery again. After the stream, I checked out your Instagram, or sorry, your channel. Looks great. This one looks like the glaze was a little too thin. Looks pretty cool on the inside though. Has a, you can kind of feel the texture of the clay. Reglaze will work well, or if the student likes it, they can keep it. Sometimes less is more. Simple little bud vase. The cone, yes, let me show you. So less melted than the last firing. I think we could probably, this one was on the second to the top shelf. So I think I could make it a little hotter by a degree or so in the calibration setting. What do you think? Octopus bowl. I love the variety of color on this one. Solid cone 5 there, all right. Yeah, it might be a little less melted in the bottom, so we'll see how that cone looks. So, the Goods Pottery, what's your name, if you don't mind? So I don't have to say your whole channel when I call out to you. All right, here's that hand-painted box. This one, this face looks awesome. Love that shark, hieroglyphs, and the mountainscape with some blending in it. Has some sense of depth. Awesome. All right, cookie collection time. Yeah, that's always frustrating when you load the kiln and the firing doesn't turn out. Like, you're always so excited loading it and nervous at the same time. And then it can just make your day that much worse if it doesn't turn out good. All right, I gotta put these posts away and then we're gonna go ahead. I think I have one more level underneath here. Oh, and then the Goods Pottery. I wanted to ask you a question about your CMC in the bucket glazes. Since you add that, do you put like a fungicide or some sort of additive to prevent it from starting to smell and decompose? I think that would be my biggest worry, since a lot of the glazes we just mix and keep adding to it. All right, last firing, or last shelf. Let's see how the cones look on this one. All right, I think that is perfect. Perfect temp. A little hotter on the bottom, which is fine. We had issues in my last, with the previous thermocouple where the bottom would fire half a cone hotter than the top. I'm glad it's more even. And then the 4 perfectly melted too. So happy about that. All right, oh, and here's that piece I was worried about. We saw in the video, even though we wiped a ½ inch, a lot of it still ran off. Thank God we put a cookie on it. Some grinding and sanding will clean that up, but that's a little unfortunate. Another cookie to give to the kiln gods. Oh, chlorine, okay. Good to know. So with your CMC and your buckets, no issues of it smelling when you add that chlorine in it? All right, so here's a heart vase. Sadly, the hearts look like they washed out. The transparent just burned off all the color. Shucks. All right. Simple, transparent glaze with a little, was it pumpkin or tangerine in the middle? All right. Hello to everyone watching. Where are you all from? All right, here's that alternating pink and light pink with a nice matte white on the inside. Oh, that ring is perfect. Perfect teacups. Perfect stacking. Love the two different styles. We have a nice sharp flat bottom edge and nice rounded edge. And here's that statue or sculpture. We had no cookie under this last time and no running whatsoever. Turned out beautiful. This one was catching my eye. Love that two-tone glaze with the overlap and then the flux on top, alternating between light and dark. That looks really cool. That inside just needs better lighting in here. Looks like the glaze got a little too thick at the rim, some of it chipped off. But other than that, this color is beautiful. Like a little touch up of reglaze should do the trick. Alright, the Goods Pottery, if you're still watching. Here's one of your favorite from the last stream. It always freaks me out when students make handles that are this thin. But once they're fired, they're pretty stable and sturdy. Wow, that gradient turned out beautiful. So this is, I believe, a seafoam chun glaze at cone 5. It's almost like purplish beige up here, and then just kind of increases to a mint. That's really beautiful. And then a nice green glaze on the inside. Love that repeating texture going around on the inside with a nice transparent finish. We have a matte yellow. This one's called ochre. And they put, not too sure what they put on top. But love that little crystal growth going on. Can't really see it. Kind of shimmers a little bit so you can get it in focus. Very cool. Hand painted flowers. Something I should try to do one day. Except mine will never turn out this nice. Alright, we got that little ribbon scalloped pot. Thought this was two of the same glazes at first. They look very similar. Purple and a brown. All right, last piece, the whale that got neglected during COVID. Got decorated, and it just looks so fun now. Got a nice, put a little planter, and this could actually be a nice little cup too. That just feels really good in the hand. Students gonna be really excited for this. All right, so that was this firing. Let's go and see the cart, and then I'm gonna change gears and reload the kiln with another firing. So kind of hard to see. Just kind of stack them all, any kind. And then here's what we got to load today. I probably won't have a full kiln load, but I want to get started. So, not that pile. This one I'm excited for. And this one. Those look really cool. And looking in there's another one. Reminds me of a little fruit. All right. We'll fix that guy. I love that run going down. I didn't even notice that before. All right, and lastly, we got to load up a few more. All right, hello to everyone who just joined in. We just finished unloading the kiln, and now we're going to reload the kiln. Hello, test, test. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't think my mic was working. And a few more up here. Got my keys, and then some cough drops, soothe the cough. All right. We're gonna take a few minute break so I can get some things ready for it, and we'll start loading up our first shelf. So I will still keep talking because I have my wireless mic on. And if you hear clanking, that's me rolling the cart out. This part always freaks me out because there's a lot of buckets of clay just on the entrance. So we'll get this out of the way. And we'll go ahead and get the container water and sponge. Start loading. All right, so for all the people who are in here, don't be afraid to say hi. That way I'm not just talking to myself and sound crazy. But let's collect all the cookies. And the other kiln next to me just fired, so it's like about 85 degrees in here, so I'm very hot right now. But you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, let's go ahead and get the first pieces loaded in so that we can get this kiln at least half loaded. All right, so this one I'm excited to see. We have a little fish bowl, scalloped edges. This student just started throwing in January, and they got really good at it. And then we have simple ore bases. So a lot of these are from my levels 2 and 3. A lot of them, this is the first year they jumped on the wheel, and they were only on it for about a semester. So not a lot of time, but they got really good considering we only see each class 3 times a week. Perfect little tumbler. And whenever they do wax resist designs, I'm just always blown away with the patience they have. Really excited for this one. This student also only started throwing in January, and the bowl is just thrown so well. Great balance, great shape, nice and even walls. It makes me jealous because I was horrible at the wheel when I first started. Took me months to learn how to throw properly. This is a really fun throne vase. Hand sculpted and attached each little ball together and then attached to the wall. Such a good mug. Tetris time, or puzzle time. All right, some bigger bowls. Another first year on the wheel student. Chopstick rest bowl. Put the chopsticks across. Real super cool concept. All right, let's find a little small cup to fit in that one spot. I don't know if I can find a cup. A nice little pitcher with little flowers. Maybe that will fit. Right, this one looks wiped enough. I think I should be able to squeeze it in. All right, let's shift some of this stuff. There we go. If you watched any of those live stream of the loading of the kiln, you may recognize this guy. We have a Bulbasaur planter. Well, I guess it's not a planter because there's no hole, but Bulbasaur container. And then pardon me, I need to get a cough drop because I don't want to keep coughing on camera. All right, and this one's splattered in underglaze. I think you can see all the texture kind of popping through. So this one's going to be really fun and exciting to see. Sorry for my heavy breathing, it's just hot in here. All right, more hand-built pieces. You may have remembered this is for a fundraiser coming up in September on Oahu called Empty Bowl. So all the students made, sorry about that. All the students made a bowl to donate to the fundraiser, and a bunch of restaurants on the island are going to donate food. And then everyone who goes to the event, when they pay for admission, they can pick one bowl from over 2,000 that will be available, and restaurants will be donating food, so you can get food from some of the best eateries on the island. So such a cool event. I always love little pottery. So I gotta do a little throwing off the mound pottery video, make little ones. I was really considering buying a mini wheel too, just to see how that is throwing. All right, first level, I can probably do a few more. Let's do a flat one. I wonder if I have enough pieces to even fill this all the way across. And the answer is probably yes. Got this big plate. Let's see, it's about 9.5 inches wide. once again, first year student. And so my next video that I'm going to upload is how to make these, a beginner version, an intermediate, and advanced. So if you want to see that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can see it when it comes out. And this student, like I said, is a beginner. So they just jumped on the wheel for the first time and made this about 3 months in. And plates, like I've been saying in other videos, have been so popular because of the easy way to make them. And some students made like 10 plus plates. This bubble plate is very popular. Let's have a cloud and a moon. This one, the student wanted to paint it, so we'll just fire it naked. And we've got press board plates made out of a single slab. So easy, elementary school kids could do this. These are pretty fun. Got ketchup ramekins, like the ones you get at McDonald's. I don't even know if you get these anymore. Glazed in white, clean, easy. Fit it anywhere in the kiln. We got one of those hybrid platter plates. And hopefully we can find enough flat pieces to fill. Looks like we just might. Lid they wanted to keep naked. And then at the bottom of the screen, or the top of the screen, you can see some bacon, eggs, and pancakes about to come out. And the student forgot to wipe the bottom clean, so we'll just go ahead and wipe it so we can fire it. Looks like they wiped some, but not all of them. So we just made a weird face. All right, any other pieces we can fit on this level? Unless I can fit one more. So I'm just gonna wipe this edge a little more, just to be safe. Okay, looks good. Maybe I'll leave this to fill tomorrow, so I'm running out of pieces. So we'll just load up this half and then call it a day. All right. Can this one fit? Oh, maybe not. There we go. That looks good. All right, last level, and we'll call it a day. Load the rest tomorrow. This one was a really cool one. Cherry blossoms with underglaze. They put transparent and then wax on it. They dipped it in a pink and a white glaze. So really excited to see how this one turns out. Hello to everyone who just joined in. We are finishing the last level for today. So we're just loading some beginner wheel throwers. So love that overlap. That's going to be a cool one. Nice scallop piece. Yeah, just clean cylinder. I got a bowl that will never stay flat on the table. It's a rounded bottom. And this one is going to be cool. And silly me, probably should load this all on one side in case I don't have enough to finish this level. All right, that looks like all of it for now anyway. All right, we got another one hidden. This will fit better in here. There you go. Oops. Better fit. All right, that's it for now. Oh, and of course I keep saying that and I keep finding more pieces. Now you can see my neuroticness come into play. There we go, that's a better fit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish loading this tomorrow. We have one more class before the weekend, so one more class for students to finish pieces and get them glazed so I can load it. Probably won't be live streaming that one, but we'll see. I do have to unload one of the kilns, so maybe I'll do another unload and reload. But thank you for those who are watching, and for those who are still here. Once again, sorry. Once again, if you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, please go ahead and subscribe. It helps this little channel grow and get bigger. The next video that we're about to release will be how to make plates. And so if that's something you want to see, then yeah, check out the channel in about a week and subscribe. Help out. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. I got to get home because traffic is going to be bad. And thank you for watching. See you, everybody.